Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about something that is really apparent to me because I have a couple friends that are going to do their first bodybuilding contest, and I also am coaching someone into their first bodybuilding contest. And I think this will just be a good switch up from the science videos, the interpretation of the data. I feel like that might get a little strenuous for you guys and whatnot. But if you haven't seen my video on the deload yet, check that out. I'll leave the link in the description below, so check that out. Okay, so today's topic is 3 things I wish I would have known before my first contest prep. So, number 1 is something that a lot of people don't think of. People think, oh, I wish I would have dieted on higher carbs or lower fats or higher fats or something like that. It's something easy, but it's something that no one really remembers to
think about. And it's leave more time.
So a lot of people start their contest prep 10 weeks out, 12 weeks out, hoping to lose 20 pounds. But the more time you leave yourself generally indicates the better allotment you will have to not only lose fat at a healthier rate for your body, but lose fat at a better rate for preserving muscle mass. A lot of times you cut off that fat too fast, you drop your calories too much, you do too much cardio too fast too soon, or you just do too much in too short of a period of time. And what happens is, as the tissue of the muscle comes off with it, you don't do enough refeeds, you don't do enough diet breaks, and you just drop your calories too fast. So leaving more time not only will help preserve more muscle mass, but leaving more time will also help you and give you more time to actually get lean and get in shape and get prepped for your show. So leave more time. For my last contest prep, I did a 23-week prep, and given I was pretty fat, I did leave a lot of time, and I ended up pulling it together in pretty darn good shape. That being said, my first contest, I left myself 8 weeks, and I was very fat. I pulled it together. I probably lost a good amount of tissue too, but I pulled it together for a first-timer show at age 16 years old. So was it shredded? No, but it was pretty darn good for 8 weeks, first-time experience, 16-year-old coaching himself. So leave more time. It'll allow you more time to get in shape, and it'll help you preserve that lean mass you put on in the off-season. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is work on posing. Huge tip. Something that I still struggle with, obviously. Not obviously, but work on your poses. At Team Nationals, I beat a lot of guys that were probably 20 pounds bigger than me for reasons, but they were a lot bigger than me, and I beat them because of posing, presentation, and just getting on stage and making myself look bigger and wider and thicker than them by leaning back in the back lat spread, pulling my waist together a little bit more on the back lat spread. So I just grabbed the handles here and I just pulled around, and I made myself look wider because of that. Just getting the angles, work on your posing, going back and forth every single day. If I were to just move my leg out a little bit more, if I were to move my arms in a little bit more, if I were to tuck my waist in or push my waist forward, stuff like that, where I look bigger and wider. And that stuff will come together and it'll make you look bigger on stage. Given I do have full muscle bellies, that helps me too. But if you can make yourself pop on stage, that'll be a huge benefit. My first show, I looked like a screaming man. Never mind, we're not going to go through with that story. Anyways.
Jeez.
No, okay. So
an experience you've had?
No, but it was very bad. I walked out on stage, I was like, I posed the Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, and I was just like, ah! It was bad. It was really bad. I looked like I had Tourette's. So yeah, work on your posing. Look smooth, smile, look graceful, find the angles, and make yourself pop. Okay? And then tip number 3 is something that a lot of people freaking mess up on. I'm going to put a star next to it. I'm going to freaking underline it twice. I'm going to put it in a different color.
Different color.
Yeah.
Serious
You know it's,
shit.
yeah, you know it's
Serious.
getting real. You know it's getting real. Good. Boom, boom, bada boom. Harder isn't always better. So a lot of times, like I said, people want to diet down and drop those calories right away. If you leave yourself time, you don't always have to do the harder route. And the harder route is generally, when it comes to contest dieting, going to be the route that loses you the most muscle mass that you gain in the off season. So like I said, people want to starve right away. I was on my prep and I was at 3,200 calories. I was 18 weeks out, and I was like, Charlie, Charlie's my brother, at Chuck the Jellyfish Lifter on the IG. Well, that's a good post. Check him out. I was like, Chuck, not even like that starving, and He's like, wait, you got 18 weeks. Sure enough, he was right. It also is good to have a watching eye over you when you prep, because your brain just goes out the window. It's just nuts. So you think you look fat, you think you look thin, you think you need to refeed, you need someone to watch over you because you go freaking insane. So harder isn't always better. Make sure you preserve those calories. Make sure you save them towards the end of prep. If you drop them all at the beginning of prep, where do you go from there? So if you start at 4,000 calories, and first week you jump down to 2,500 calories, where do you go from there? You already took off all of this range. Let's say your maintenance was here. So you were like in a 500 calorie surplus. So you want to start your prep off, maybe 100 calorie, 200 calorie deficit, right? You have to be in a deficit to lose weight. But you're in a small deficit, and you slowly make progress from there. You make all the fat gain loss. You make all the fat loss you can there. Then you make all the fat loss you can there. You make all the fat loss you can there. You make all the fat loss you can there. Instead, you made all these fat loss increments all down here before you even had to, making metabolic damage more prominent, more likely than it needed to be. So take your time, ease out the fat loss. It doesn't always have to be harder, it just has to be better. So you'll more likely shut your metabolism down faster by doing huge jumps like this, and you won't be able to ease out every single portion of the fat loss that you possibly can by starting off here and slowly working down. Just make sure you're in a deficit and slowly decrease your calories. If you need to punch the button at the end, yeah, do it. You're gonna have to lose a little bit of lean mass if you're natty at the end of a prep to really get diced. That being said, you don't want to punch your ticket in right at the beginning of prep, saying prep starts today, 7 hours of cardio, 2,000 calories. Like, no, that's not optimal. You want to start out doing the least amount possible and build up. It's about progression. It's about overloading. It's about giving your body something that it hasn't had before. It relates to training, it relates to nutrition, it relates to just about everything. Your body is made to survive stimulus. So if your body is given 2,500 calories, it wants to make that easier on it to maintain. So your new maintenance will come down with it. So that's why we get into refeed. We'll get into that in a different video. If you guys want to hear about that, let me know. But yeah, if you drop your calories, your body is made to adapt to that. So if you drop your calories to 2,500, guess what happens from there, right? Your body's maintenance is going to come down a little bit because it wants to go into survival mode, and it wants to make everything you give it easier and adapt and work with it. But that's not what you want to do. You want to have a larger deficit that you continually lose fat. You don't want your body to continually adapt to it and have less mean more. But you do want less to mean more, but in a different sense. You want less to mean more as in get more out of doing less, but not have less calories mean less. So check out these top 3. I think that made sense. But check out these top 3 things I wish I would have known for my first contest. Leave more time, work on your posing, and do it smart. Harder isn't always better. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and tell me 3 things you think I wish I would have known that I should tell you about, right? So like 3 things I wish I would have known before I started training.
Damn.
3 things I wish I would have known. 3 things I wish I would have known before I started talking to girls in the hallway in my Speedo, stuff like that. So, so this may be a new thing I do, 3 things I wish I would have known, but these are good things for your first contest prep. We'll get more into refeeds and contest prep techniques as it goes on, but this is just a few good starters. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Nice.
Yeah.